The debate surrounding climate change has been a contentious issue, with scientists and Christians often finding themselves on opposing sides. While some Christians have been receptive to the scientific consensus on climate change, others have been more skeptical, and scientists have been accused of attempting to manipulate Christians into accepting their views. However, it is essential to examine the ways in which scientists interact with Christians on this issue, not to imply malicious intent, but to understand the complexities of this dialogue. One way scientists try to engage Christians on climate change is by appealing to their moral and ethical values. Many Christians believe in the importance of being good stewards of the earth and caring for creation. Scientists have used the shared value to argue that taking action on climate change is a moral imperative, and that Christians have a responsibility to act to mitigate its effects. For instance, the Evangelical Environmental Network has partnered with scientists to promote environmental stewardship and climate action among evangelical Christians. This approach aims to build bridges between the scientific and Christian communities, highlighting the common ground that exists between them. Another approach scientists have taken is to use biblical language and imagery to convey the urgency of climate change. For example, some scientists have compared the threat of climate change to the biblical story of Noah's Ark, emphasizing the need for collective action to avoid catastrophic consequences. Others have used biblical metaphors, such as the concept of dominion over the earth, to argue that humans have a responsibility to care for the planet. This approach acknowledges the importance of Christian scripture and tradition, while also emphasizing the scientific evidence for climate change. Scientists have also sought to engage Christians in climate change research and activism. For instance, the Vatican has partnered with scientists to promote sustainability and environmental protection, recognizing the importance of faith communities in addressing global challenges. Similarly, some Christian organizations, such as the Christian Reformed Church, have developed environmental stewardship programs that incorporate scientific research and expertise. By working together, scientists and Christians can develop a more nuanced understanding of the complex issues surrounding climate change. However, some Christians have perceived these efforts as manipulative or coercive, particularly when scientists use emotive language or appeal to fear and anxiety. For example, some scientists have warned of catastrophic consequences, such as sea level rise or extreme weather events, in an attempt to galvanize public action on climate change. While these warnings are based on scientific evidence, they can be perceived as alarmist or exploitative, particularly by Christians who are skeptical of the scientific consensus. Furthermore, some Christians have expressed concerns that scientists are attempting to supplant traditional Christian values with a new, secular worldview. For instance, some scientists have argued that the solution to climate change lies in a rejection of traditional Christian values, such as the notion of human exceptionalism or the idea of dominion over the earth. This approach can be seen as a threat to Christian identity and values, and has led some Christians to resist or reject the scientific consensus on climate change. Ultimately, the relationship between scientists and Christians on climate change is complex and multifaceted. While scientists may use various approaches to engage Christians on this issue, their primary goal is to promote a greater understanding of the scientific evidence and to encourage collective action to mitigate its effects. By acknowledging the shared values and concerns that exist between scientific and Christian communities, scientists can work to build trust and credibility with Christians, rather than being perceived as manipulative or coercive. By working together, scientists and Christians can develop a more nuanced understanding of climate change and its implications, and can collaborate to address this critical global challenge.